Okay. So, yes, so we are by the end of the Ramah on the next page already. The beginning of
Yeah,
the Ramah on the next page, right? That Ha'ov Sheiskir.
yeah, that's Hov Shehiskir B'nai.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let me do sagen, ja?
Yeah.
Ha'av Shehiskir B'nai was gedungen sein Sohn, yeah? Nobody, just you and me learning? No one
Yeah.
else?
And the
Okay.
people on YouTube.
I know,
Yeah, no.
I'm saying sometimes I switch over to Yiddish, so I try
Fine, no
my,
problem. No problem.
if it's just you, I know it's not a problem, but if
Yeah.
it's anybody else, I
But
usually
some,
correct
so I think other people sometimes come to after to
to Chazro, I mean.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll try to make it in English. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
You edit this also, right? You don't put the whole thing.
What? No, no, the whole thing goes. No editing.
Behemoth?
Yeah.
Under what? Under what? Under what name?
If you if you saw what else is on YouTube, you would see like well, we don't have to worry so much.
No, I'm meint uns zu reden chassidische Dvoren beteilim, you know.
Beseder.
It's
Beseder.
nicht,
Compared to YouTube, I feel Chassidish with Dvarim B'Teilim is a
it's,
shen gute Sache.
warte. Okay, very
Okay.
good. Ha'af
Yeah.
she'iskit boydem lemelocha, af abi she'enoi male lemezenes, chotshafile, he doesn't pay him, right? Or he
But he
pays him, but
doesn't feed
he
him.
doesn't. He doesn't pay him. Mal mezonos means payment. Or does he mean to say he doesn't give him? He doesn't support him in food stuff. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
like
he's not. Yeah, I guess because the mistam because the Bal Malacha is meaning this isn't. We're not talking about modern employment. We're talking about
mal
like
mezonos doesn't. The mal mezonos over here mean. I don't know what mal mezonos means. I was gonna say, but does he here means he doesn't give him a salary? Is that what it means? Or does it mean to say that he doesn't give him mezonos at home? He's not supported at home. Okay,
well,
let me
we'll
learn.
see. I think the Shach explains it a little bit more.
Okay, ודאי ניחא ליה במה שאויסה האב ונויטל כפי מה שקוצב האב עד שעה שיחזר בי. No, el geht him yeah a salary. He gives him a salary.
Well, is he
So ניחא ליה what the
like he's satisfied with what he's giving him, but meaning he what
in other words
the father is hiring the son to work by him by
yeah,
the father. Okay,
yeah,
now he's hiring him out to work by somebody else.
yeah.
Okay,
I think so. האב שהיס גבלוי למלוכה.
right, but he's not giving him a mezainis, meaning because usually what usually the balabas would be giving him mezainis because he would live by the balabas.
So over here he's not Bocher who's Soimach al Shulchan Aviv. That's what he wants to say. No?
Right, yeah,
He's not Soimach.
yeah.
Malim Mezenis means he's not
Meaning, even though he's not right, he's already an independent son, but
independent
still,
person. That's the way
but
I
still,
learned it
because it's
originally.
his father, he has a certain respect, and and therefore he agrees to what the
He agrees to whatever salary he gives
whatever the
him.
salary the father is giving. Yeah,
No questions asked. Ad Shashi Yachzer Boy until he shows discontent.
right. Until he meaning minastam he's agreeing to it.
Yeah. Until he shows otherwise.
Right.
Melamed, that's one case.
Yeah.
Melamed Eitzel Balabais. Shomer lo Balabais lecho ma'amodi.
Lech modi, go away.
לך בדיסטרציה מלמד, יוכל הבעל הבית להחזיר בי, ולעכבוי דיינו יוכל למחול שיבודוי של נער. Ah, a tata, a father, the father hires a balabos, right?
Yeah.
A melamed.
Yeah.
And then he says, lech me modi,
Right.
which is Lashon HaKosov, by the way. Wenn die Srata Melamed, the Melamed agrees to it. Was kann ich sagen?
Right.
Yuchel Balabais lach zedbei. The Balabais is allowed to, how do you say,
To retract his
retract, right. Ule akvoi, and to stop him, to detain him, in other words,
right.
and prevent him from leaving. Then
Yeah.
yochel limchol shibude shel nar.
Meaning it's like we said before, it's a davar ovid by a nar. He's gonna miss learning.
So what are you gonna? You're gonna put a gun to his head that you have to come back?
No, but he's meaning we're talking legally here. Legally, he's allowed to change his mind, say no, don't leave, and the guy has to stay. Why? Maybe mistama because, like we said before, that a malamed is a davar malamed it's a not is a
I
is,
th- I
is a
think I
davar
think what
avud.
he's I think what he's trying to say, and please, you'll tell me. Der Emerson Narayan is also, das, was hat gesagt, lech me modi. Let's first talk about the
Meaning like
agreement that they
meaning
had.
he had no right to say this in the first place.
Exactly. There was a
Right,
breach
but
of
how are
contract.
you have not the father has a chiyuv. He has a chiyuv to somebody to teach his son. How are you telling him to go in the first place?
So the thing is this, laat me zu neu fragen, yeah? Laat me zu neu fragen. What happened at the beginning? At the beginning, he hired him, right? He could have hired anybody else. But he had to hire somebody because it's his chiyuv
Yeah,
that his son should learn Torah. It's his achrayas, gerecht?
yeah,
Was tut and nehmt Chaim Yankel.
yeah.
He should be melamed. He has good credentials, this, that, he has patience, he's a Geschmack Yid, he's a Fruma Yid, Hasidish Yid, he has all the virtues that he wants. Now, the thing is this, he is a Zoy. So, I assume that they signed a contract over here between the Melamed and the thing.
Or even if not, in other words, they had an agreement. An agreement's an agreement. A
An
contract
agreement.
proves it, but an agreement's an agreement.
An agreement. Okay. Now, can the Melamed say bye to? Can the Melamed say I want to leave or not? That's why I think there must have been some
So,
sort of.
if we're going to connect it back to before, I'm assuming we're talking about, and Bichlal, you would assume that this is talking about still a case where he can't easily find another Melamed. So the Melamed can't
I'm sure.
leave. It's we said before. It's a
I'm
davar
sure.
ovid.
I'm sure the Smeh and the Shah are going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
I'm just trying to. So, what's tuter?
But
What's
like,
tuter?
Bichlal this whole Ramah, it's like he is a shtick of b'losh megumgum, no?
Very, very terse.
Yeah,
Very.
yeah. Already both of these cases so far.
Mamish, very bekitzer, not
Yeah, and
with
not
a.
explaining what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but Stamazay Malamed cannot go. Meaning, if there's nobody to replace him, a Malamed we already established is not allowed to go because the bittul of the learning of the Nar is a davar avud.
The thing is this: I understand that the father has a chiyuv to take care of his son. He has a shibud to his son. He's meshubed his obligation that his son should learn. So how did he do his obligation? How did he be a zoyer that does get on? Mit dem, was hat gedungen am Melamed, so he
Yeah,
fulfilled his
right.
obligation.
But
I
now that
understand.
he hired him, the Malamed can't go because it's a davar avud. Okay, but even by davar avud, if you're gonna tell him, if even by davar avud, if the balabas fires you, you can go,
Yeah.
right?
Sagt
But
der,
now he tells him, no. So we're saying, so it
so we
looks
say
like
that
what we're
this is
saying
different to
is
a regular case.
right.
This is
We're
different to
saying
a
is
regular
no
case.
because the balabas, even though Taka usually, even by a davar avud, if I fire you, you can go. But in this case it's different. Why? Because the balabas did not have the right to fire the malamd of his son in the first place.
Because he has entangled with an obligation
Right.
with. Can I ask you a question? Let's say he doesn't have that problem. Can a balabos fire a melamed in a guten tag? Like
No, it depends. It depends. Lav dafke. because like we is this is what
Is
we
his
had
livelihood? No,
we had in the
I
Ramah before of this. Yeah, see,
I
we
mean,
had
we're talking
similar.
about. I'm talking about the case where he can't find employment elsewhere. That's what I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
no, so he would have to pay him he would have to pay him, and we said not just he has to pay him, he has to pay him not full salary, not even like a like a pale bottle, because a Melamed doesn't want to sit bottle. A Melamed wouldn't agree to take a job that he sit to sit
So
bottle.
this ties up to what we said before. In
Yeah,
other
so
words,
before we said by a Melamed
yeah,
that he can't leave because it's a davar avud, and
okay.
he can't, and he, if he fires him, has to pay him full price still because of a lot. Okay, so that's why he's in his wording. He dafka
So the
says
chiddush over here.
right. He dafka says that Omar lei balabais lechmi imadi vinisratza hamalamid.
So
Meaning
was
he said go, and he said okay.
so I think pshat over here is like this: that here in the situation where if both of them would agree to stop the teaching, you might have thought that it's fine. If both don't want, both
Meaning, right? You listen. You said go, and I said okay. We're done.
right. So he says no because he has an obligation, a
Right. So
shibud.
so so now the balabas changed his mind.
Okay,
So usually you would say, listen, I'm sorry you changed your mind. Then you shouldn't. You fired me. We're done. You fired me. I agreed. So stamazay, we're done. Ah, but the father didn't have the right in the first place.
I wonder how. I wonder how how much of a time space is he allowed to retract? Okay,
Right. That's also a good question.
let me then because we've spoken about time periods and stuff. If you remember, you know what I'm saying. Let me then.
Right.
Okay,
Right. I have to imagine somebody's going to mention this.
I know, because we've had this before.
What are we talking about here, Bechel?
We talk about you can't come
Because what 2 years later he comes and says I
a month
changed my
later,
mind.
or even a month later. What's that?
Right. But I'm working for somebody else already. I already
He
got
went
it.
to exactly went to look for different. Okay, ודאי ניחא במה שעושה האב ונוטל כפי מה שכותב האב עד שיחזור מלמד אצל בעל הבית שאומר לבעל הבית לך מימודי ונסתרצה המלמד יוכל לבעל הבית לחזור ולעכבוי. לעכבוי means that he can hold him
To
back
stop him from leaving it.
כנגד רצייני, מסתמה כנגד רצייני, מסתמה.
Yeah, that meaning. Listen, if everybody agrees, so what to talk about? So fine.
Yeah. But he's doing it. He's
Yeah.
em meakev zu libdem as hat nicht
Yeah.
der Recht zu tun das.
Yeah.
But aber ist etel balbai shach ben balbai mit mod visat melamed yochal aber balbai zachzer boy velak foi deino yochal lim khoel shibud shel nar. מיהו בשאר פייל אם אומר לו בפני שניים לך ממודי פוטר בלוי מחילה he can he's Potter and
Yeah, he's free to leave.
he
Meaning
doesn't have to
now
say
now he could, depending on the case, like you learned before, it could be he could demand the balabas now has to pay him like a pelbot, depending on the case. But
yeah.
but if he wants to go, hey, you fired me, I went. Bye bye. No, come back, come back. Nope, sorry, not coming back. I'm potter from coming back.
What's with below Mechila?
Meaning without the balabas agreeing to it. Right, the balabas says no, I changed my mind. Come back. Right,
Bishar Peil
sorry, I'm
or
going.
the Poil or
And the
the
balabas isn't Michael. No, you come back. Nope, sorry.
you stam even the I mean it the whole
No.
incentive
So
came.
so I'm so in this. See, this is what's funny. He's jumping back and forth, but in the
Yeah,
safety,
because here he's a Poil.
Mistama, we're talking about a davar avud, because not a davar avud, he can go without the balabas telling him this. Which is that's I think that's why the Rama brings it here, because it must be talking in a case of davar avud,
Yeah.
right? If it's not davar avud, a payil can leave without being fired. He can walk off the job anytime he wants, and you're the al. So it must be talking about a davar avud that usually he's not allowed. The player is not allowed to leave. But then the guy told him leave, and then he told, oh wait, I changed my mind, come back. No. Even it's a davar avud. Now that you told me to leave, you fired me. So that's it. Now you can't force me to come back, unless I'm a Malamed, because a Malamed, he didn't have the right to fire him in the first place. A Payil, he has the right to fire, depending on the case, to fire him.
So hold on a second. Over here, when it says that by a pearl, im omer lei, b'fnei shtayim, lech me modi, if we're talking about if the employer said lech me
Yeah,
modi, right?
yeah,
Potter
yeah.
v'lei
And if he
mechila.
says that even by a Davar Avud,
Yeah.
the guy can go. It doesn't make a difference. It's Davar Avud. You told him
Potter,
you told him Lech
what's
Modi.
it mean mechila? Mechila means like what? It
Meaning without the Balabas agreeing to it, I think.
but the boss fired him.
Right, but it's the same case as the Malamed. But now he says, "Oh, I changed my mind."
No, here you have a shibud. They don't have a shibud. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so I changed my mind. Right.
Yeah, but in
So
the case of a melamed,
so
he
that's
can't
different.
change
Why?
it.
Because by the Malamed he didn't have the
There's a
right.
shibud. Yeah,
He
the
he did
shibud.
he
Yeah,
by the Malamed he had
yeah.
meaning meaning even I said go and you agreed.
Okay. I
You
don't get
even
the
you agreed to
word.
go.
I
Here
don't get
he's
the word
saying
mechid. I
right
don't get the.
here he can go even without the other guy agreeing it.
I don't really get it so well. The thing of mechila.
I'm not sure what I'm not sure who's doing the mechila here. The Shach is going to explain that.
Beseder. Yeshemrim imamelo derech kas sheinei potter.
Right? Why? Because he wasn't. Because he didn't really want to let him go. He just got angry, so he yelled at him, "Get out, get lech me muddy." That's it called. He got angry. He wasn't, but he didn't really mean it.
I don't get what mechila means. So, okay,
The 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 Shach's going to explain what does it mean, Michiel.
okay, you want to do shach, you do
That's it. It's only Shach here.
only shach. Okay, fine. We bad that nicht leven goed. Loschen to es Ramban.
Right. So here we
We
said what? We said
I
that the
wonder if I
son for
have. Do
sure
I
he's
have?
satisfied with the father. With the
Do I
father.
have the Chuvas Ramban or not?
Well,
Do I have the Chuvas Ramban or not to look this up? It's Benimtza Chuvas Ramban.
let's see how much of the Ramban he gives us.
Okay, Chuvas Ramban mistame kimen de yoda betnai. Ha'avshi yeah. So the kimen yoda betnai. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Ha'av bektitosoi. בניכלס במלאכה, מסתם הניחה לי במה שעשו אב, כיוון שלא מיכה. From the fact that he agreed to work for his father happily, and he was not mecha.
Right, but it's interesting because he adds a little thing here. He's not saying that Stam he's agreeing to everything the father says. He's saying that Mistama he knew that this was the Tnai Mistama. Since it's
Yeah.
his father, he must have known it was the Tnai.
Aber
And he entered
nicha
and
le
he entered
b'ma
without
שעשו
without
אב,
without
כיוון
without without opposing it.
Yeah, okay, fine. He knew the price. Benira de gam
Yeah,
harab ayri behochi shiyoda betnai ha bektisosoi. Nisha das genommen how do you say genommen dem arbeit be'emuna shlema
yeah.
without knowing. No, he knew. He
Right,
knew.
he knew. It means well, right, and that's why he's saying his father. What does it mean, his father? Because his father. It means he knew what was the Tnai. It's not like a regular employer.
So
He's close to him, so he knows.
the deal in the shach over here is like this. If we know for sure that he doesn't know the price,
Then right, then by the father, then even by the father.
even by the father.
Now he's
If
going to go and say
so,
Anachme.
if we know for sure that he knew the price, so that's for sure. Key, what's the chiddush of the Ramban is that we don't know if he knew or not. So we say
Well,
that
he's
it's
gonna the shot's gonna take it a step further. Well, right, mistame by a father he knows, and
yeah.
mistame by not a father he doesn't know. But he's
No,
gonna go
right.
a step further. That, but if we happen to know that by the father he didn't know,
Oh,
doesn't help. But
so
he's gonna go
that's
even more. He's gonna go even more and say, and if even not the father, but he did know, it's also good. It's the same thing.
exactly,
It's
exactly.
just it's like Urcha de Milsa is by the
Look at
father
the
he knows,
Milsa.
by somebody else he doesn't.
And the only thing over here we have is bestoma. That the
Right.
Ramban is talking bestoma. What
Right,
is
by
the
a father, right.
what is
Urcha
Urcha
de
the
Milsa is by a father he knows and by somebody else he doesn't. Mistama by a father he knew, unless but if we find out otherwise, then no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Benida, the Gamma Rav Mighty Behochit Shioda Betnai Bektisosi. לפי זה, האב לאו דווקא, אלא הוא הדין האחר שהזכיר ויודע אחר, שהזכירוי, ויודע בכתיסוסוי של האחר, וגם נראה שאין צורך לידע מן הקציצו, רק שיודע
it's not
שהאב אוי
chatzitza.
אחר קוצץ אימוי ונכנס במלוכה. אם כן, מסתמה ניחא לי בכל מה שקוצץ אימוי, האב אוי האחר, כן נראה בזדי בדרך קצץ. אוקיי. So what he's saying is like this: I need to say this again. Ich darf das sukain ein bisschen. I need to.
But I think it
I need to
seems
chew this a little
it
bit.
seems to me, that what we're talking about here
We need
is
the
is
gamma
is
rab
one is
mighty.
one person hired somebody else out for work. I got you a job. Meaning the father got his son a job
Okay, but
with
there's a
somebody
difference.
else. The father's not the employer. That's what it seems from here.
But I think what he's trying to bring out over here is that the principle, if he knows, he agrees, that principle is is by a son a mistama, he knows,
Correct.
by a friend that he
Mistama
should
not.
know. Mistama not until proven that he does know.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
That's how it usually would seem. Yeah.
I think that's what you're trying to say over here. But Lav
I mean,
Davka,
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if if he's saying that mistama by the father, yeah, and somebody else no, or if he's just saying that he's saying of because
no, 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 no. It's a licht in the wetter. Look at this.
no,
The thing there,
because you could also say it's just mils the shchichi.
let me read inside and see the way I understand. Venida the gamma rab mighty behoch sheyoda bet nayu bektisosai, as we're talking about a case that he knows where the father is bektisosai. Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, the same means the mistama he knows.
Right. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
I
mistama he
I
knows.
guess the status quo would be that by a father, he
The
would he
mistama.
would he would he would know
You would know
he would
that
know
and
what under what t'nai the father made the deal for him with the employer.
אלא הוא הדין אחר שהזכירוי ויודע בקציסוסו של האחר. Was meant this? Somebody else.
Yeah, a different person, not his father.
Not his father. He rented him. He hired him.
Right. This other guy made the deal with the employer.
ויודע בקציסוסו של האחר. Who knows? That his son knows? Or the worker knows?
Yeah, the meaning the worker. There's meaning. Let's say it wasn't the father; it was another person brokered the deal. So if the father brokered the deal, we say that mistama
I'm
when
getting confused.
we say that
I'm getting confused. Now I'm getting confused.
it would seem on his lashon that the father is not the employer. The father brokered a deal between his son and an employer.
No, it says he's kiro acher.
Right, and meaning the other guy hired him out to somebody else.
Does he mean to say that the father brokered that somebody else should hire his son?
That's what it seems like based on his lashon here. Because here he says, "Rak sheyoda sheha'ov oy acher kotzatz imay v'nichnas b'malacha." Well, who's he being kaitzitz with? He had to be talking to somebody to be kaitzitz.
Yeah.
So it would seem there's a third party here who's the actual guy paying. And the father made a deal with him. Listen, my son's gonna work for you, and here's gonna be the what do you call it? And he says, good. And the son goes and works for him. And then he says, oh wait, how about this? And the guy says, hey, wait a second, that wasn't a deal. That wasn't a deal I had with when I spoke to your father. That wasn't a deal that was made. Fine. So if it's the father, we assume that the son knows. He knows what the deal was his father made, and he knowingly entered into
Oh,
this deal.
that he told him.
Yeah. If it's somebody else, we don't assume that,
No, we
right?
assume he knew, but we don't assume that he told
Well, we
the
assume the broker knew, but we assume he did that. But we don't
we
assume
don't
that he
assume
told
we
the
don't
worker
assume
that he told the worker.
the worker, which is a
Yeah.
weird thing. Which
Right.
is a weird
But
thing.
but that's what we assume. But if we know for a fact that the father didn't tell the son what the deal was, or that the
All we knew
or
that he
that the
did
broker
tell him.
did, then it doesn't work that way. Then
Yeah.
if we know the guy told him, then I'm sorry, you entered knowingly into this thing. Now again, why is this here? Because it's talking about a davar avod. Because if it's not a davar avod, who cares? You can leave it anytime anyway.
So when we learn Rafisa Ha'av Lav Dafka, that the father hired him, and the Wadin Acher Sheiskiroi, even if somebody else
Right.
hired him to work, Biyod Bektiso Shel Acher,
Right, and we know for a fact that he knows the deal that the other guy made with the employer for him.
yeah.
So then, if you knew, then I'm sorry, but you entered into this willingly. You can't say that you were duped.
You say that here we're talking about the father over here?
Well, now we're talking about even another person, meaning if we know for a fact that the guy told that the other guy, not the father, told you what the deal was, then I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you know the deal, you entered willingly. So then the halach would be just like by the father. And on the flip side, if we happen to know that the father did not tell him what the deal was, then he can walk away because he can say, oh, I wasn't willing to accept such a deal. I didn't know this was what he spoke with you. I was under a different impression, whatever it is.
וגם נראה שאין צורך לידע שחק ציצר, רק שיודע שאב או אחר קוצץ עמו ונכנס במלאכה,
Right,
אם כן,
because you
ניחא
knew you knew he made this deal. So the
מה
fact that
שקוצץ עמו.
you didn't ask the details means that you were agreeing to whatever details he worked for you. He worked out for you.
Okay, so then now let's make a sequence of everything now. Yeah, should we make like a general, how do you say, okay, the first one is if the father with the Ramah. If the father hires his son, so
Right.
Mistama, unless we know otherwise, he knows, he's aware, and he's nichale.
Yeah, and he's agreeing to whatever those conditions are.
Okay, then you
In
say
this
lav.
case, it's that she'enim al mezainis.
Yeah, because if it's madam zonas, maybe it was understanding that he's just paying for his food and lodgings.
Well, I think, yeah, I'm wondering what he means over there. If he means that it's the fact that he's mal mezainis, or was that the no, yeah, right. Meaning even he's not a kid. Again, and the Ramban explains it very well because it's not about that he's under the control of the father. It's that Mistama the father told him what the deal was.
Okay, now when he says about lav davka ha'ab elo
Because the whole principle on the father, it's not the
yeah.
fact that he's his father. In fact, interestingly, maybe that's why the Ramah says Afal Pisha Einam Ayalei Mezainis. It's not. It has nothing to do with the fact that it has nothing to do with it. What it has to do with this because his father Mistama would have told him. So if it's somebody else, if it's Acher, If he told him, then it's the same thing. Because the whole thing isn't hinging on him being his father. It's hinging on him knowing about it.
Yeah.
That's what it's hinging on. And being that it's his father, we say Mistama, he would have known about it. If it's somebody else, we don't say Mistama, he would have known about it. But what if we happen to know that yeah, he didn't know about it? Then it's the same thing, no difference. Because you're entering into this thing knowingly.
So let me just figure out how to word this, because it seems to me a little bit of a, let's see. Let's see how we. I just need to a way to formulate this,
Right.
because it's like too many words for.
Well, I would say basically like this is that it's not specifically about the father. Rather, it's about whether the worker knew or did not know.
So except
Right.
by father, we say that Mr. the
Right.
father.
So by father, we say probably he knew. By somebody else, we don't say probably he knew. But if it is clarified that he did indeed know, then it would be the same thing.
You see, the Schwerke over here, the Shach is using a term. He said, "Gam divri harav mayri behoch ishiyot betnai obektisosei." But it's not really true. Not from the Lashon Ramah. He says the Kamarav
Well,
Mayri
um
that
I
because
think maybe it is because I think that's the whole point. I think that's why the Ramah said Afal Pisha in Mizanis, right?
but when it says
Vade
Yoda,
Nechle Majes La'av.
so it says it too the mistam giving Yoda betnai ha'abek tisose v'nichas b'melocha. You see, look at the Lashon of the tshuva. I mean, I don't want to start splitting hairs, but this is cause for concern. Look, the mistam kiven sheyoda betnai ha'abek tisose. Warum sagt der Mistam? The word Mistan is schwer da.
No, the mistam is very simple. What he's trying to point out is that he's trying to point out it's not about the father or not the father. It has nothing really to do with the father intrinsically. All he's trying to tell you here is that if he knew, then then
He
then
said, in the case of the
then
father,
then then he's obligated himself. If he did not know the Tanai, then he did not obligate himself. Right?
okay, okay,
So why use father?
because
Why? Because the
it's Tama.
mistamek kivan sheyoda b'tnaya of, since by his father mistamek he knows he's in better good
So the
communication
Nakuda
with.
over here is, does he know Mistama or he doesn't know Mistama? That's really what it's all about. We
Right? It's
say,
not.
by
It's no. It's very simple. It's does he know or does he not know? That's what it's about. Ultimately, it's does he
does he
know
know, does he not
or
know?
does he not
Except
know?
in the case of the father, we
Right. So
say
so no matter who it is, if it's the
that
father,
like
if it's not the father, if it's the father, if he knows, he's obligated. If he does not know, he's not obligated. What's the only difference with a father? Is by a father mistame yoda. That's the only difference between a father and acher. Is that by a father mistame yoda? But in truth, if we find out that lo yoda, then he's not obligated. And vice versa. By acher, if we clarify that Hitaka knew, he's obligated. The whole thing in its hinging he's saying is it has nothing to do with him being his father. That's not what does it. What does it is if he knew or not. So why did he say a father? Because by a father, mistame he would know. By somebody else, lav dafka, would he know? Not mistame, he wouldn't know.
right. B'nidrab Mayri behoch Yoda betnai ha'abek tisose. It's mefarish now the Ramban.
Yeah.
That the reason why the Rabbad said is because it's a mistam, because a son would know that Nai
Right. So he clarifies that when the Ramah, that
Lavdavka.
when the
That's what.
Ramah is saying ha'av,
Yeah, yeah, I understand that.
He's talking about the same thing like the Ramban.
Yeah, so he says over here, "Lefi zeh, Av lav davka." So when the
Right?
Ramah says over here, Av, it
Is
doesn't
love
mean
dafka of, right? It's just like the
Elohu
Ramban.
adin achar
That
shehi
meaning if he knew,
yoda bekziso shilachet.
right?
Be lang that he knows.
You're right.
That's the pshat.
Yeah. Punkt.
It's not a magical word a father has to know. If the father
Right.
mistam knows, but who adin by anybody else who knows without the mistama. You know what I'm saying? So get in the
Right.
mikveh.
And that's why the Ramah says Alpha Pisha in my limizainis. Because meaning because it's not about any sort of control that the father's having over him in this.
Elohu adin achar.
It's about the relationship that he has with the father. That's even when his father's not Marlon Mazenis.
Yeah,
So
I hear you.
I think that's why the Shach is saying that why the Shach feels that the Ramah agrees with the with him that it's not intrinsically about a father, because if it's intrinsically about a father, then it wouldn't be then if he's Marlon Mazenis, he has no control over him.
גם נמצאים צורך לידע סך הקציצו, הוא הדין das ist gehört. וגם let's continue, yeah?
Yeah.
נידה שאין צורך לידע סך הקציצו, רק שיודע שאב אוי אחר קוצץ עמו ונכנס במלוכה. As long as he knows about the Metzius, that there was an agreement on the price.
Right,
It doesn't
right. And
know
he
the
went and he
price.
did it, so that means you didn't say nothing, you didn't
And
ask.
al
Right,
smach to that, he's
right.
working for him. Al smach
Right.
that he
That means you trust this guy, whether you're the father or the other guy. That means you're trusting him to make to negotiate for you. And the
it,
fact that you didn't ask or whatever before you went and started working means that you agree with whatever it is he negotiated. You're agreeing to.
whether it's the father or
Doesn't make, yeah,
somebody
no
else,
difference.
or the somebody else
Right.
brokered.
Meaning again, assuming that we know that he knows of the mitzias of the ktitza.
Why do we have to speak about somebody else brokering it? Why can't we just say that the son and the employee agreed to the price? Warum kann man nicht so sagen?
What do you mean? Because then we go right back to every other situation in here. That's every other situation in here. That's the chiddush of the situation. Is he's asking, okay, well, up until now we spoke about if you made a deal with the employer. What if the deal was brokered?
Yeah, but in the case
Are
of
you
the father,
obligated or you're not obligated?
in the case of the father, it wasn't brokered, right? You agree with that?
No, just the father was the one who brokered the deal.
Father and son, no?
But the father brokered the deal between the son and an
Oh,
employer.
when it says he's kidding, not that he worked for him.
No,
That he,
basically brokered a deal for him to work for somebody else. And now the son goes and starts working. And he says,
yeah,
"Oh, wait a second." And the guy says, "Listen, I had this conversation with your father before you came and worked here, that this is what the deal is going to be."
perfect. I got now get it clear. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because the guy negotiated, and then you didn't ask. You showed up at work, so automatically you're showing that you accept whatever he negotiated unquestioningly, and you're agreeing to it, even without knowing the details.
So what are we scared of? Oh, we're scared that now that the
He's
poil
gonna
is going
say,
to.
"I wait. There's no deal here. I didn't know. I
I
didn't
didn't
agree to
know.
work.
Yeah. So
I
we
didn't
say,
agree to work on just in such circumstances."
oh, so the answer is you did know.
Well, right, you
You
did know, and even if you didn't know the details, you knew that the negotiation happened, and you could have gone. And before you showed up here to work, you could have asked them, "Okay, wait, what's the deal?
that's what we're scared
What do
of,
you do?
right?
You went and you showed up. The second you showed up, you now made a kinyan on the work by starting to work.
Yeah.
So now you're obligated. Now, if he didn't know of the negotiation, I'm not sure how he would not know there was a negotiation. Bichlal.
בכל מה שרוצים מאוהב, no, it says, וגם נראה שאין צורך לידע סך הקציצה. He knows there
Right,
was
he
a,
doesn't. He
but he
doesn't
doesn't
have
know
to. Right, he doesn't know the amount.
the dollar amount he doesn't know.
Yeah. He doesn't have to know the amount. Meaning again, being that he knows that it was negotiated and he showed up, it's like him signing a thing that I agreed to whatever you guys negotiated.
Okay, fine. היות שאבוי אחר קוצץ אימוי וניחס במלוכו, אם כן מסתם מניחה לי בכל מה שקוצץ אימוי, או אבוי אחר.
Yeah, I agreed to it, even though I don't know what it is. The fact that I showed up, I'm agreeing to it. Finished. I'm
Right?
obligated now.
Then it is, okay. יוכל הבא בוס להחזיר בי,
Right. So now we're talking already about by the Melamed that the Melamed.
I'm Chuvas Amarashdam. By the way, I've seen the Chuvas Amarashdam in the stores.
Yeah.
It's available. It's the new people put it out, like the new prints. I'm Chuvas Amarashdam, Simon Kufites, Shemechalek Ben Amira Leksiva. Leksiva Mehanem Benimchal Shibude. Oh, that's what the Mechila is, the Shibud. Pardoning the obligation.
Miliksiva. Mahani right. Mahani v'nimchol shibudei. Ah.
Yeah.
But then he says, look, ve'ein dvar v'nechene be'inai.
יוכל הבא I'm Chuvas Amarashdam, Shemechalek Ben Amira Leksiva. Leksiva Mehanem Benimchal Shibudi. A person who writes that I don't want I'm firing you.
Right. What do you call it? Not just what's it called? Why why shibudei?
We're talking about a melamed here or what?
Yeah. Why shibudei? Because by David Ovid he's meshubet him.
Oh, Yochanan Balabos lachzer bei meant zu sagen, kann zurückziehen, right? He can go back on his word
He
and
can
take
go
him back.
back on the firing and say, "Oh, you're unfired. You're
I
unfired."
Mashdam says it depends. Or the Mashdam wants to say it depends.
Right. So he wants to say, "Oh, so that's only by when it was verbal. If it was if he wrote him he wrote him so what do you call it a dismissal note? You dismissed from your position."
He can't go back.
And he says, no. Then the guy can say, I'm not coming back.
Yeah. Nimcha Shibudo means who's Shibud? The Shibud of the
Shibud
Melamed,
of
the
the Melamed,
obligation.
yeah. Yeah, he was Michael the Shibud of the Melamed, yeah.
The Melamed. ואין דבורם נכנים בעיניי, גם בשעת הכויסף, הפוסקים ממש ודין לחלק בכך. Okay.
Yeah. So according to the Shach, there's no difference if it's writing, if you're the same, even if it's written, he still can't.
Okay. Memvav. Hi. Miss C, please. Okay, weiter.
Yeah.
מיהו בשאר פועל, חולה, ואף אגב בדברי מהר"ם, yeah?
Yeah.
שבתשובס מהר"ם, this is מהר"ם מרוטנברג, I guess, no?
Stama, yeah.
בתשובס מהר"ם, דפוס פראג, סימן העין זין, ובתשובס רשב"א, סימן מרדכי משמע, דאפילו בשאר פועל לא מהנה. אם אומר לו, לך משום דגוף וקונו לו. כמו עבד עברי, ומדמה פועל לעבד עברי. So he wants to say that no?
He wants to say even by another pale.
That what? He
Even a
can't.
regular pale. If he says
He,
Lech me muddy, and then he changes and then Yachalach Zebay. Why? Because for whatever the term that was agreed on, you're meshubet to him.
but he's going to krieg sich. He's going to say it's nicht so.
That's yeah. That's I sense that's coming up too.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is, it's like it's the gemoy
Because remember, we had that
um,
whole shach before, that even though he lives in his house and this and that, and he's ki eved dummy, but it's a whole different thing because an eved ivri is mamish, his whole being is meshubah to him.
Can I ask you a
He,
question?
he, he mamish belongs to him actually, right? Where a payil is ki eved dummy as far as like, certain
And
things, but
that's
he's not,
one
but he's
thing.
not an
The
eved
other
at the end of the
thing,
day.
the other thing is, you know very well that we've had a lot of dispensations throughout the learning because we do
Because
not want.
dafka payil shouldn't be like an evet.
That's number
Yeah,
one.
right.
You know what I'm saying, and the second thing is, it must be talking about Dover Avud over here, because in the worst
Right, because
scenario,
otherwise he can yeah, and see, and that's why I think it's here and not further in the beginning, because with all of these situations, right, you have to say it's like a malamed is we already know from before that the case of a malamed is a davar avod always in their times anyways.
yeah,
A malamed is a davar avod, we know. The case
yeah,
by this case and the case by the father. If,
definitely,
if it's not a David Ovid, he can get up and walk away anytime he wants. So it must be
exactly,
saying it must be
exactly.
David Ovid.
It
And,
must
and,
be,
and yeah, and also
yeah.
it's connected to actually it's funny. I'm actually it's actually weird that he put it here. He should have put it before by this even dealing with David Ovid, but
I
I mean
think, I think, I
it,
mean,
it may yeah,
I think, unless I'm making a mistake, I think that he takes for granted that once you know that the only freedom that the soicher, the poyel has is only by in the case when it's not davar avod, then you understand that all these difficulties in quitting is talking about by
right,
davar.
it must be David Ovid, but what I don't understand is why. Oh, okay, I see why it actually makes sense because even Ches, the case of the Uman, Aseli Davar Plani is still talking about a Davar Avod. So he puts it at the end of the discussion of Davar Avod. That's okay.
All
That
these
makes
are
sense.
cases of davar avod, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was just saying, like, why did he put it in this
So
sif
so
here
so then he
and not
said,
before? But Taka, the Mechaber in this sif is also was still talking about Davar Avod all the way till here.
yeah,
So fine, okay,
okay. So let me gehen weiter jetzt, yeah,
yeah. Like, you might have
weiter.
the Medami Lepel left Ivy.
Der Wechsum der Gufa Konig kemoi evet divri de medame poil evet divri de perkam de metzie mit komokum nire de loy kaimelon maram beho de pshita de nehi de poil yesh lo din evet divri de hainu le kula sheyochel lachzoir boy aber loy sheyehe gufa konui loy. What does it mean here? Maram is de pshita de nehi de poil yesh lo din evet divri hainu le
Right,
kula
right. No, no, he's saying
to his
lakula, meaning
benefit.
meaning 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 that we consider him similar to an eved, so
To his benefit.
to his benefit so much as that he can walk away anytime because he shouldn't be eved lavodim. So being that it's similar to an eved ivri enough that he can walk away anytime he wants because of that, because of the pasuk, but it doesn't mean he's mamish and eved ivri.
Right.
Is not gufi konulay.
Weiter, aber Gufa konu, aber Loi sheye Gufa konu Loi. וכן בתוספות קדושין, שבייסי לעיר, ספקות נחופי, דפויל אין גופה קונו לוי, וגם נראה דמהרם גופה לא יסומך החתימה, אלא also also sniff לטעם אחר. He used it like an extra sniff, you know what I'm saying?
Right, like an extra thing to rely on.
Yeah. ועיקר טעמוי משום שאין יכול למחול שיבודוי של נער, ודלוי כנראה בתשובס מרשדם, סימן קויטס, וכן בירוחם, אגודס פרק האומנם, הביאו הקדימה מרם, שלא יכוסף אלוהך טיימה, שאינו יכול למחו שיבודו של נער. בסוף נרדף כוסף דבינו ירוחם בסתם עומר לפועל, אוי להשכיר לסורי לפונו, ולך פוטר, ולא מחילה. What do you say? Well, but it has to be apetre. It has to be apetre.
Or I think it seems like it's really the first reason, but just he's adding like another thing, but really that's not.
ולאק ודנו יוכל conversion נער. ומיהו בשאר פועל אם אומר לו בפני שניים is באפטרי, we call it, right? לך מעמדי פותח בלא מחילה, and he doesn't have to
Not good. Sham not good בפני base.
פותח בלא מחילה, that the obligation of the בלא מחילה without the so Potter, he can get out without freely, no? בלא מחילה freely.
Yeah.
Is Potter mean that the worker is the poil is Potter,
Yeah.
בלא מחילה. Without the consent.
Well, he's going to explain in a minute what means b'lei mechila.
Okay, weiter.
He's going to define that.
בפני שניים, בפני שניים לאו דווקא, אלא לישנא דש"ס, נוקר שם נוקר בפני בייס, לא מדין צורך שטר, אלא אויסי הלושן שכוסו העדים בשטר, אוימר לוי בעל פה, בפניהם סגי. You have to say in front of them, though. They don't need to say anything.
Well, meaning, yeah, but but it looks like not even. Meaning he's just talking about that's the method that was used to prove it.
Yeah.
Not that being in front of base Adam creates anything. And here he's gonna right because what takes is sham, but who adinim omar lekach beinay leveinay, you made the bekach. Meaning he doesn't need Adam, he doesn't need a star, nothing. It's b'fnei base. He's just talking about because generally speaking, the guy's not gonna admit to it. So b'fnei base, he says v'hu adin b'shtar because you can prove it, and then he says v'hu adin if there's no star and no Adam, but the guy himself he's an honest guy.
He's
an honest guy, and he says, yeah, I said that. It's
that
true.
What?
I said
what did he say?
That he told him go. He told me fired. He doesn't have to have told him before two people. He doesn't have to even have a star. He could have just told him that. The only problem is the status quo is you're working for the guy. So now you have to prove that the guy fired you. But if the guy himself comes and says, no, I admit, I told him I fired him.
Yeah.
Then it's fine. Even beinay leveinay, it's still fine.
So it's not we've had this before. It's not the shtar was tutufet. It is the birur hadvarim. That's what it is. That we just need we just to know that it actually took place.
Right. Is this so in such a case where Adam then meaning the Adam are not they don't make the Metzias. It's just bir dvarim. So if that's the case, so then his is the what's it called? The his admission is Kamei Adam Domi. Same difference.
Okay, fine. Now we're gonna start the new
one more the Potter B'lei Bechila. What does it mean?
שכבר קיבל את כל הסחירס, אין צורך להחזיר כלום.
Yeah, so now he puts a whole different twist on B'lei Mechila.
Also
Meaning he why? Because listen, you paid him the whole you made a deal with him,
yes.
right? Now you're saying, okay, okay, and you paid him the whole thing.
Who's backing out? The
The
masker.
the balabas fired him, right? We had a deal. I'm working for you for a year. You paid me $60,000 to work the whole year.
You can keep the whole thing?
Wait, now you fired me.
Yeah. Well,
You
you're allowed
fired
to fire him.
you fired me. Fine, I'm keeping the money if you fired me. Why?
But
Because you're
that's
not allowed to
fair?
fire me. Our deal is for a year. Fine, go fire me. But I'm keeping the money you gave me. So he goes, so now come back. Come back. Right? He says, no. He can still putter b'lei mechila. He can say, no, you fired me. I'm out and I'm keeping the money. And I'm not coming back. He's putter b'lei
Oh,
mechila. Even without returning the
wow.
money. When the guy wants to change his mind, he can remain fired and keep the money. He can do COVID all over again.
Wow. It's a big chiddush,
A
this.
big yeah. It's funny, this little what's it called?
And now, if he wants to rehire him, he doesn't have to agree to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. And you say, wait a second.
He won the lottery.
Right. And you'll say, wait a second, but I paid you. What do you mean you don't want to come back? I paid you the whole year. You have to come back. You say, no.
Right. What's
Potter
the
b'lei
name?
mechila, buddy.
I got you. It's something that שמדל דמציע, בהגן של דמציע, בשם סמג, מי שסוחר מלמד על ידי קנס, חייב לשלם הקנס, אף על פי שלא יקנה.
What does it mean that he's sochar al yedei knas?
בשם הסמג, מי שסוחר מלמד על ידי הסמג, על ידי הקנס. מי שסוחר מלמד על ידי הקנס. Let me see. Let me look inside the Aruch Shulchan, yeah?
Yeah.
Shin Lamed Daled. This is the last resort. If I see it's a Megate
Yeah.
Minish. It's a shtickle
I
shortcut.
mean, maybe in the B'siyos, if it could also maybe it's
Let me see.
uh,
Shin Lamed Gimel. כל פעם שהיו איזה בעל בית סטייק ממודי, מי ששור פה ויצחי, לוקו, כגון שנצרך, יש מי שאומר, דזה שנסבור זה אם תון הפועל לך מודי פוטו, אם קיבל כל הסחירוס, אונו כן לא ממנו, ובעדי שאין מסמי, אם מירוסו ילך מהמודי צריך להויסי ולא אומר, אין לי עליך כלום. אוקיי, סיני שזה פושט, יש עושה ואין לי עליך כלום.
it's
You
it's
can
it's
just
a,
get,
it's a whole it's a whole big sugi over there.
yeah, he says over
It's a whole big
here,
sugi.
that Aruch HaShulchan
We
says you
would
can't
probably
just
have to
say,
start at the Gemara and work our way down.
where in the Vomiti, you want to take the Gemara out or what?
In the whole what do you call it?
I don't mind learning the Gemara, but it's not in the Gemara, it's in the Hagos Maminiyas. That's the only thing. You
Right.
think
I
that's
mean,
a sug in
the
the
truth, the
Gemara?
truth is we could also look in the B'siyosif because the B'siyosif brings it here.
You have the VCS in front of you now or what? You're looking at it?
In front of me, I can look it up. Wait, let me see. I don't know if I have that one down here. Let me see.
You don't have a Beis Yosef on together with your Shulchan Aruch?
I know because we switched from books to books, and it's upstairs somewhere. I think maybe I think it's upstairs here. Let me see if I have that one here right now.
How do you know that the Beis Yosef talks about this?
He says. He says a kosher b'seisif.
A minute. Kosher bes Yosef, Sosim and Shin Lamed Dalet. Sosim Shin Lamed Dalet. Why Shin Lamed Dalet? Where Sof Shin Lamed Gimel.
Yeah, but the b'seisif brings it there. So I don't know why. No. Have it maybe. Yeah, I think I have it here. Oh, look at that! I do have it here. I do have it here.
I have in front of me, Mishasocher Melamed De Knas, Chayav L'Sham HaKnas, אף על פי שלא יקנה דמי לאם עובר ולא יעבד, ולא עובד, לאם עובר ולא יעבד. צריך עיון. מלמד על ידי קנס, one second.
Let's see.
Ay, 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 la, 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 la. مش الصاخب ملمد على يدي كناس مش الصاخب ملمد على يدي I got it. Here, I got it.
Where
I
and
have it.
where?
I looked into. Listen to this. Mishpat מלמד על ידי כנס, מסייחת לעיקורן משפטי, בהלכות סחידוס פועלים דיני אבוידה, המופיע בטור חוש המשפט שין למד גימו. ומקדש לסופם, והכוונה היא, שאם סויכר, the middleman, right? The middleman, סוחר מלמד, he brokered the מלמד, right? He brokered the מלמד. אוי בעל מלוכה אחר, והם הסכימו מראש על הקנס כספי במקרה שאחד הצדדים יחזור בוי מההסכם, הקנס תוקף ומחייב. להלן נקודס המרכזית המבוססת על המקרס. תוקף הקנס, המלמד פועל שחוזר בוי, right? חייב לשלם את הקנס, גם אם לא היה קניין פורמלי, without a קניין, מכיוון שהדובר דומה לדין עם אויבר ולא עבד. It's like saying, it's the same thing. I'm going to work. I'm not going to work afterwards. What you said you're going to work.
Right.
I'm not going to work.
So it's almost like a reverse sign-on bonus.
Exactly. You can't say, do you need to make a Kenyan to say that you're going to work? Never, kann man nicht Gehalt geworden als er sagt.
Right.
The moment,
Right. Especially that generally speaking in the work, the Kenyon's not made until you start working.
right. So exactly, but the obligation to work starts from the moment you said I'm going to work, right?
Right.
So the thing is this.
So therefore, the knas is betaikif already at that point.
So now you're saying I'm not going to work, right? So then you're going back on your words. So
So
you
then,
have to pay a
since
knas.
part of our agreement is there's a knas if you quit,
It
even though I
doesn't.
didn't start working and I didn't make a Kenyan,
Yeah,
I have
because
to pay the knas already.
it's no worse as obligation that you have to work
Yeah.
without a Kenyan. So that's why that's one thing. Now that we know this, okay. So now Chochik, we can do the Shulchan side. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah. 1 second, let me get the right book back. Here we go.
Knas means that the condition that either side, right?
Yeah. If they
The
back out, they're gonna have to pay knas.
she'im hapoyel. Well, it doesn't have to be. By the way, it doesn't have to be only melamed. It goes for everybody.
Right.
Hapoyel oy ha balabos choizrim meshalmim knas. Okay, so it says chayv leshalem knas af mishalo hikne. That's a pshat. Why? Because the domi leim oiver velo yavid. Sagt, er geht arbeiten. No, the meiste, sagt jetzt, he's not going to start work.
Yeah, no, I'm not working yet.
Do you need to enforce a Kenyan in order to force a guy to work? Tzorich hier in Adkan Lashone. Lo daite lo ma'iniach b'tzorich hier, and don't know what the tzorich here over here. Sharei kein mevur lehedya besmag. והוא מדיב להטויסס, פרק איזו נשך. ככה זה הגוס האשרי, האגוד השלום. ככה הוא המודחי, יש פרק המקאבו, פרק זה בוירר, וככה זה פרק בחוסקירוס, וריד לדעת, מייבי ביס יוסי עצמם, פויסקן אצל אילו לעיל, סימן רש זין. ונראה, דמשקול צורך איון, קויה, אף על פי שלא היקנה. ועוזר לטיימה, שקוסם ביס יוסי לעיל, סימן רש סוף, יש מחלוקת הפויסקים, אפילו במוקם דקניה, אסמכתה אי בוי קיני נתניש.
Right.
לפי יש דייט דמלמד דשידוכים, כולם מוידוי דלוי בוי קניין, you don't need a Kenyan, that שידוכים in the Yudashatchen, I guess. No?
So maybe that's why here
Okay, מוכר דיבר כל
it brings
הפסקים,
the
הנ"ל,
Lamed.
דמדם אלי לאויב ולא יעבד, השלם במיטב. וכבר כסרתי בזה, I think he wants to say that the לא יקנה, ואוזי לטיימי וביודי, יש מחר הפסקים אפילו במוקם
Right, that
דקניה,
he's holding that by besides from Malam and Shidduchim, boy Kinyan Taka. And that's why he has that sort of
the
thing.
Meforshim over here say asmachta is chayvus kezu eno nechshav asmachta. Is chayvus mefurezes shein gemilus das. But asmachta it's an agreement that's not really. It's not really like it's not mevusas. In the event that you don't work, you'll pay me a
Right.
knas. That's like in the air.
Right.
So then that's not binding, right? Sagt das heißt, ich kann das machen. It's not an asmachta. It's a real obligation. It might not be a Kenyan, but it's not an asmachta. אין אסמכתא אחרת, מדוב בפיצוי סביר על נזק שנגרם בעל הבייס, המזכיר, עליונה לסויכל במקרה חזור, אם בסוף פרק מלמד בעל הבייס הוא על עליונה. הקשר רוחב, דין זה משמש כפיצוי לבייס של קניין דבורים, כאשר מויסף קנס למי שאינו בהתחייבותו. It's קניין דבורים. It's not oimed, bediburoi kind of thing.
Right.
Oimed bediburoi is mechayev money? No, we never had that before, no? No.
No,
But anyway, it obviously,
he's ein ruach hacham meneche himeno, but maybe even he's at the worst he's a mechus ramon.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
At worst, at best he's not even mechus ramon. He's just ruach hacham meneche himeno.
I think we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
I don't want to start now, Shilam Adalit. It's
In fact, even if he made, even if he paid money and didn't do a kinyan,
yeah.
right? He gets and he gets a Mishpat. He still doesn't pay even money. Even
Yeah.
then, he doesn't pay money yet.
No.
Until he made a kinyan, he doesn't pay money.
And here there was no Kinyan. Here was Kinyan
Right.
Dvarim. Here it was Kinyan Bedibur. Said he's going to do it. But it wasn't an Asmachta. I'll tell you why it's not an Asmachta. Because it's a real commitment because either sides would lose, which it reinforces that this is all talking about the Dover Harvard.
Right. Right.
You know what
Right.
That's
exactly. Exactly. Here, listen, I told you, it's a Davar Avod. Right? so this isn't because remember, a regular work arrangement.
Yeah.
And I didn't make a kinyan at all, right? So listen, you can back out, I can back out, and there's only tarumis. That's all. Besides tarumis is nothing. Here, no, you're pushed by telling me you're going to work and you're not. What's it called? This is a davar avod. I went and didn't hire somebody else.
I'm convinced that in the last few sifim, it's over avod.
Yeah, this whole sif, it's clear that this whole Ramah is continuing and that's why he puts it here, because that's when the Mechaber just finished talking about Davar Avod.
Okay, בסדר. בזה, morgen ist auch Mittwoch, lassen wir dann noch einmal bekennen, no? Tomorrow is